We're gonna try an experiment here with max potions removed, gold reserves removed, no recycling. I believe this stuff's fine. Oh, we can have just no starting gold, so that's okay. All of that's fine. Health fountain never breaks while we have removed max number of potion. And we'll see, because we had a conversation about that the last time we played, if it's going to be really confusing to people watching, seeing that I have no health flask, but when I go into the transition area, then it'll be there. And we were thinking like, okay, maybe there's a rule where you can only heal like before a boss or after a boss. Maybe after the boss would be the better idea. Should be fine. See how this works out. But yo, good to see everybody. I don't know if you all had like anything that you've done over Friday. Sounds really weird. If you all played a game on Friday, maybe you played some Destiny 2 yourself. Maybe you're playing Rumble Versus. Maybe you're doing some Guilty Gear Strive. Let me know what you all did on Friday. For those who don't know, I spent all of Wednesday, I believe. Oh god, you have to restart. I believe this is a bug when you're using mods. It's like you end up loading into the next area somehow, some way. I don't really get it. But heals infection, so both the health pots and the regular thing heal infection. But if you think about it, bosses and dead cells basically heal your infection anyway. So the very small amount that I would be getting from chugging after a boss is probably a non-factor for difficulty. Oh, do I have random outfits? I think I do, because it changed this outfit. Alright, we should be good. I also added some new tech, because I hate having to pick one of these. And like I was thinking of randomizer, roguelike, and Nuzlocke rules. Trying to figure out like, why do I get to pick the first weapon? So I decided, okay, maybe it's better we do a dice roll for first weapon. So I went ahead and I added a command. The command is !roll 3. So if anyone can do an !roll 3, that will give us 1, 2, or 3, which one we're taking first. What if all health things were off, but food can't be infected? I feel like if the food's not infected, we might lose a little bit of the 5BC mechanic. And when you're doing a Nuzlocke and all you have is Dagger of Prophet, I think having malaise is fine. Yo, thank you for that, Adam. Dagger of Prophet, pretty decent starter. Famous last words, of course. As you see, we already lost our gold bonus. It's only active for like 3 seconds. What's the build today? The build is whatever the game says it's gonna be. Oops. Those are the rules of the Nuzlocke. V doesn't get to decide anything unless it's a legendary or a curse. Yo, I feel so rusty right now. After not having played since essentially Monday. I don't want to lose. I want to do well, but I feel as though we gotta de-rustify first. So if I take some hits here, best believe we'll do fine later. Feeling rusty is fine. I'm happy to hear that. Not every day that we're okay with such things. But if the viewer signs off on it, you know what? I'm okay with it. There we go, okay. Now there was the idea that golden doors are a curse. So maybe it's okay to take the curse if I wanted it. I feel like getting that free pan might be a little OP. Wow. You're actually blocking that. Mobile version of Dead Cells is busted. Controllers don't work. I haven't played it in 2 weeks. So I saw a tweet about that maybe 2 days ago. They are aware that controllers have been bugged since whatever iOS update was done. And by they, I mean Playdigis. Don't forget that Motion Twin doesn't do anything for the Dead Cells mobile version. It's all a second party that does it. Was this custom music? This is apparently... Wow, that was kind of interesting. This is apparently Katana Zero soundtrack, which I did play, but I don't remember any of the music from it. I just have a Steam mod on, and it's as simple as just turn the mod on. Don't have to do downloads or anything if you're on Steam. Please, give me the infected food. Somebody's gotta have it. Take out this. Like, I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled on the walls, but I feel like I saw no floor secrets during this entire area. Like, am I tripping? Like, was it in a spot that I actually didn't walk to? Because I just used my head? Did I skip an area? Is this what feeling rusty is like? The old V.Me would have found the floor secret a long, long time ago. Can it spawn in the Arboretum area? There's no way. Katana OST is really good. Yeah, there's tons and tons of music up there. The last that I saw was Nier Automata OST, and I haven't done it. Where are we going? I think it's toxic. Hello. I haven't done it, nor have I played Nier Automata. I don't really believe it's a good game. Could be wrong though. I know it's a cult classic, but you know, I'm not supposed to be in here. I would love a way to turn those off as well. Sometimes cult classics aren't exactly cult for the reason you think it is. Midas blood? And then jump into poison if I need it? I feel like that's not necessary. Trying to think of what else might actually show up. We can't count on Midas blood with Base Flask. Like, that's really, really grasping. We'll try something like this. Remember, we cannot use any health fountains until after the first boss. Nier fans are going crazy right now. It's still about the fake secret area that I think someone modded and like added to the game. Or is there something else Nier related? Oh god, first item's up here. First item is a Valmont whip. You will be taking. This therapeutic music, good memories for Katana Zero. Yo, I'm sure Katana devs would love to hear that. Oh god. There we go. First amulet of the map. We do take that. Yo, it's so unlike me to press more than one button. No, you said, oh, because I said Nier Automata might not be a good game. I don't know, like I've never looked at Nier and saw any gameplay at all. And I might be wrong. I want someone to tell me that, V, you're tripping right now. The only time I ever see anything in that game, it's 2B running around and like the little robot that floats with you is shooting. And you just run around in circles. Is that true? I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually use the sword. At this point, I assume the sword's just there for show. It's more of a bullet hell? Nier Automata is? Not true? I want to believe it's not true, but I don't think I've seen sword gameplay. That looked kind of weird. That challenge rift up there? Kind of scared right now. Actually, you stay in there. Never mind. That's fine. It was not. Yeah, so if I think about Devil May Cry, and I haven't played Devil May Cry 5, but every time I see someone pull up a video of Devil May Cry, like it's amazing combos. It's Virgil walking up to some Giga boss, slow walking, and then like you completely dumpster the boss. But when it comes to Nier Automata, like if there's even gameplay at all, if it's not just a video or screenshot of something else, it's not Virgil. It's not Dante, it's not Nero, not even Trish. Whoa! What's wrong with this Rampager? The story is good? Okay, so I have heard that the story is really good. But then, like, I never know if people are... Because, you know, sometimes people like to say that stories are good, but maybe there's only one part that was actually any good at all. So I'll often hear people say that, oh, the Nier Automata story made me cry, or it made me rethink everything I knew about human civilization. I was looking at everybody different. I was looking at Bezos different. And like, I want to believe, I really do, I haven't played it. That's all I'm gonna say. I haven't played it. Yo, Joker, good to see you. How am I doing? I'm actually doing really well. I'm happy to be back on stream. after having to take a day off, which turned into like 3 or 4 days off. And I'll talk about how, oh, same species upgrade? Is that worth? It actually is. I know we lose the poison, but it'll be fine. Is this a Sonic skin? Yes, it is. On the music of the transition room. Hang on. Imagine trying to play and read chat at the same time. It's when you enter the therapist at the in Katana Zero. That's really cool. It looks like the loop isn't super long. But yo, whoever made this mod, that's a good eye for detail. Or an ear for detail. Or whatever you're listening from. Maybe you're like a snake and you hear from your belly. Or maybe you're like a shark and you hear from your nose. The combat in Devil May Cry is way better than Nier, see? Maybe even the character design's better. No, So I want to be able to play some action games in the near future. Let that change. Right now, the big thing I'm looking forward to is Black Wukong. But then I just saw today, maybe it was a Gamescom announcement, that there's a Three Kingdoms Souls-like on the horizon. For those who don't know Three Kingdoms, that's like Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chinese. I don't even know what to call it, really. But if you remember Dynasty Warriors, it's like, it's the kingdoms from Dynasty Warriors in a Souls-like. I don't know if you get to play the different kingdoms, but just no one has done that yet. Oh my god, I didn't get behind it. And like, I'm kinda geeked. Not that I played Dynasty Warriors in a while. But I definitely would not mind playing that. Yo, Celso, good to see you. Good morning. What time is it where you are, Celso? And other people in the chat, what time is it where you all are? It's, time check? Yes, Lu Bu in a Souls-like. Imagine Lu Bu running up on a demon horse. And he's like half demon himself. That cannot be a bad game. Literally cannot be a bad game. We already got the challenge rift, but I want to see what the chest is. Maybe we can get the same species upgrade. 11:40 p.m. Holy smokes. 17:40. That's military time, aka non-American time. 5:40 p.m. We were talking about that on Wholesomeverse Live. Military time. And how people learn it. If you actually do the math in your head. If you minus 12 every time. Or if you just know 17 equals 5 when you see it. Or Jobu's case, 18 equals 6. I don't usually have to math it out. Like, it's kind of weird, but like, I know 17 is 5 and 18 is 6. When you say 19 though, I think I have to math it. $20 I'm okay with. 21 I'm okay with. 22 is good. 23. Sometimes I have to math 23. I shouldn't be in here. Remember, we cannot go into those rooms. I'm gonna double digivolve this, I think. Because, like, the odds of me keeping Dagger over the Valmont Whip, that's a self-synergy Valmont on the table. I think you do it. I'm gonna Gastro here. Okay. Yeah, this is the therapist music and it's very calming. It'd be kind of cool if they could put this in the shops too. There weren't shops in Katana Zero, right? Basically, what you have as your character, that's it for the entire game. Is that correct? Just wait. Jasu's changed the game right now. Just subtract 2 from whatever game it is. I mean, whatever time it is. What do you do for 23 though? If you drop 2, it turns into 21. How do I know it's 11? Let's wait on that. Good Valmont. If you just remove the 2 entirely, it turns into a 1. Yeah, see? Like, how do I know it's 11 o'clock? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to know the secrets. I want to know strats. Please. Ooh, I like the music on this map. Yeah, so how do I know if it's 1 o'clock or if it's 11 o'clock? $23 is double, so it's 11. You're not wrong. It sounds a little bit like a V.Me innate education moment, where rather than having like the actual answer, I just have to know, which is fine. Like we said that about PIMDUS, as you all call it, order of operations. I thought we just had to memorize the order of operations. I didn't know there was an anagram behind it. That's new tech. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, pun. New tech for telling time. I didn't know. I wasn't born with this technology. Is that a legendary? Rip music? That's funny. You don't dual wield these. I don't think that does anything. It's kind of a cool combo. Oh my god. I mean, I feel like it's something. First amulet. Wow, we actually lost music. A little unlucky. So 13 minus 2, drop the 1, carry the exponent. Thank you, Gabe. Dead Cells is so weird with no music. Like, no one plays like this, right? I hope not. All it really is subtract 12, but in 2 steps. Well, to be fair, maybe subtracting 12 is like 3 steps for me. So I'll take the 2 steps instead. Because if you think about it, you have to draw the 1, draw the 2, phaser, draw the minus, then you have to draw the line underneath it. And then if it's like a number that's less than... Wait, I guess that doesn't work at all. Hang on, hang on. It sounds more complicated than it is. And that might be part of the issue for me. Let's, we got phasers, so I should be able to do this. Either way, any tech, maybe I can come up with my own tech. Something that's like a little bit in between minus 12 and minus 2, but drop the first digit. I have no money. Final mutation, I'm gonna swap this out, I think, at some point. But we do want to use scheme. Maybe I don't swap this out. Maybe we'll keep it as is. Don't try to subtract, just create a lookup table. You might be right. I had to do something for work the other day where I needed to do, crap, what was it? So I had to do a VLOOKUP. No, I did it for freaking Dead Cells. I remember, so I had to do a VLOOKUP in Google Sheets in order to do the legendary tier list that I'm working on. But in order for me to get the right side digit, I had to also do a command to only give me like the right 2 digits. The right 2 characters. That way I could sort out the tier list based off of what certain things were. Yo, Furiano.
Notice me, senpai.
You have been noticed, by the way. Thank you for that. Holy smokes. Prime 2nd month. First amulet, we take it. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Unless it's Sunday where you are. It's been a long time since I've played Phaser. What? That was Mach speed. How am I supposed to react? With my boomer reaction time? How am I supposed to play Valorant when people are playing like that? Like how you know 6 times 8 is 48, you don't start adding 6 multiple times. So I'm pretty sure there's got to be some zoomer math out there. Oh, first item? Right, maybe I shouldn't have come in here. Though the Valmont's still good, I think. Yeah, but you all know when they show like the TikToks of your 2-year-old learning the multiplication or learning variables straight out of the womb. I don't think they just have a memorization of 6 times 8 is 48. I think in the child's brain, something else is happening. Something that we don't understand. And that's how they're able to process this stuff long before you and me did. Or it might just be long before I did. Everyone else in the chat's fine. But yeah, I know you're saying that you're struggling. I also don't have to think about 6 times 8. I have advanced processes that do it for me. Here we go. Few hours from Brazilian Amazonia, but still day. Wait, is Brazil 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours before Eastern? Or is it all of them? I swear that I've had a conversation with someone from Brazil saying that they were 3 hours ahead of us. I could also be tripping, but I swear that's a thing. -3 GMT. Yeah, so Eastern is -6. But I don't think all of Brazil is -3. Yeah, not minus, it's plus, it's plus. No, wait. Whatever. It's a 3. It's a 3. But for Eastern, it's a 6. Eastern's -5. Daylight savings time. We are minus. Thank you, thank you. Look at that, no damage. But when the phaser's popping, monsters start popping along with it. Oh, the double dodge. For some US regions, I believe you're 2 hours difference. Ooh. Dang, we cannot seem to get an upgrade for the turret. First item of the map was the Molotov, which I don't even see on the screen. I do see another phaser, so that could be a same species upgrade coming up. Dang, I pressed phaser at a bad time. There we go. Where am I? So I am on the east coast of the US. According to a chat, we're -5 on the GMT rating. Even though I do feel as though on some days we're a -6. And it's nice and bright today. We had a little bit of rain. And we've been like really needing rain, which I think is like the case for a lot of places right now. I don't think I have the money to double digivolve this. Just do it anyway. My country never gets rain in summer months. Sorry to hear that. If I could mail you some rain. I don't even know if I could. I think that might be against town code. Water shortage. We're not supposed to do any non-essential water use. For primer, I would at least tell the homeowners association that sending water to my good pal Primer is a necessary use. I just can't promise you they'll believe me. You are -6 compared to most of Europe. Nice. Or it might be bad if you're -6 on the tier list. It only rains. Oh, you get plenty of rain in Louisiana? Even during summer? Like outside of a pending hurricane? Ooh, Rob, that means mosquitoes. Holy crap. So, because there hasn't been a lot of rain, we actually have not gotten a lot of mosquitoes here in New England. Though for sure there was another piece of food, but I guess I ate both of them, which is not good. Hate mosquitoes. I've been honestly lucky that we haven't had to deal with them. At this point, I've almost forgotten what it's like to have to deal with a mosquito. Did you know it rains more in Mobile, Alabama than in Seattle, Washington? I would assume so. So Washington, that's like up in the mountains. And maybe if you don't count the snow, there's more rain in Alabama. But Alabama is still tornado, and not tornado, hurricane area, right? So that's gotta skew the numbers a little bit. If one of those come rolling in, it's a little messed up. How am I supposed to compete against that if I'm Washington? Oh, music? Stay sticky. I missed every hit. Yo, this is clean. I don't think these give you money. No, they don't. Wait, what even is this from? In Katana Zero, I don't remember this track. It's a sick beat. Give me that no hit. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. That's an undodgeable setup. Unblockable, like I'm playing against Bridget. What was the outplay? Okay, that was screwed. But either way, I don't think you could get out of that. This is from the club mission? That's the first mission of the game, right? I apologize, I don't remember it. Shoot, maybe I need to play some Katana Zero. There we go. Rip no hit, but should be fine. Is Valmont Whip basically guaranteed crit on conjunct? I missed it a few times. It looks like there's an area where if you're too close, it won't crit. But as long as you're not too close, it seems to always crit. Have I ever Googled Alchemy Creatio from the other day? I did. I don't think I wishlisted it though. I should be able to do this area. Let's see. So I'm going onto Steam store page, Alchemy. Wait, Alchemy Creatio is not on Steam? The mobile game? Oh, Alchemia Creatio. Is it a weeb game? Is it like what's the name of that game? Altier Hearts or whatever? Not a weeb game. Then I'm already not gonna wishlist it. You have been wishlisted? Release date July 28th. Wow, that was actually super recent. Yeah, I'm always willing to toss stuff up on the list, just to at least take a look at. Okay, so we're allowed 4 of these. There's only the 3 bosses. So I guess I just do it. And then I have to consider if I want to reset my mutations. I feel like I don't. Unable to compare because I've seen little, but wishlisted it. Yeah, same here, same here. Yeah, I've been, because we've been watching our good buddy Esty playing a lot of card games recently. There's a lot of card games out there on Steam. And I was talking to another buddy too who plays Slay the Spire a lot. I don't play Slay the Spire very often, only for stream. And it's not that I don't like the game, it's just that if I'm going to spend the time to play, I would like to play it with people watching. So my buddy was saying that he still plays Slay. And he doesn't really collect, and I use collect in a kind of a funny tense, indie games the way I do. But I had to tell him after just playing Across the Obelisk that there's still tons of games out there to try to break into that Slay the Spire mold, sort of. And I'm still looking for one for me. I think Monster Train is as close as it's gonna get, to be honest. Not that I don't like card games. It's just that as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I feel like I don't always have like cool stuff happening in Slay. Oh, we gotta find the curse. It's above. I like this music right here. Corrupted Power. I think you take that. We lose our bleeding synergy, but maybe we could use Open Wounds. For those who don't know, we're playing a Nuzlocke in Dead Cells. The Nuzlocke has special rules, so I can't simply take everything I see. So I truly have to think about what's the right take and what's not. Nice. We even have special rules around our mutations, where if I reset, I actually lose the mutations I have. So pretty cool stuff. Dark Quest board game? Is it an actual physical board game, or are you talking about a video game that's made into a board game? The closest one I can think of, dang, I can't think of the name of it. I think it might start with an F or an R, but it's a 4-player game that is a grid-based, not quite tactical game, because I think you only command one unit. But a lot of people play it as a party game because of the multiplayer aspect. Get out of here. What you think you're doing? Our good buddy SlimyYy plays that one a lot. And like for Wholesome vs. Live, we've done a few board games on Tabletop Simulator. That's gonna turn into a tier 3. It didn't. I'm surprised. Did I get everything? I did. So yeah, for those who aren't familiar with the rules here, the Dead Cells Nuzlocke, we're only allowed to pick up the first item that we see in the biome. So this map is usually lucky where you don't really see free items. If anything, something might drop from an elite, and that would count towards the first item of the map. So, oh god. Kind of forgot pirate captains would be here. Get destroyed. So yeah, first item of the map, unless it's a curse or a legendary. But we also have a rule where we can buy stuff from a shop if we don't take anything at all. And especially in the bank, that's pretty much why we added it, was bank got added. I should try to buy something. Later, sucker. Get Wesker. Get Dead by Daylighted. Yo, we're zooming now. Yeah, I tried to fiddle with the rules a little bit for this Nuzlocke. I also tried to take a little bit of time to look at mods for Dead Cells. But to be honest, no one really has anything except for like infinite ammo, unlimited cells, no skill cooldown. Basically a lot of stuff like that. A lot of things that make your character busted. But no one really has mods around changing Dead Cells as a game. In the way you might think of Elden Ring randomizer. Or Resident Evil 2 randomizer. Like that doesn't exist for Dead Cells, it seems. And unfortunately, I don't have the knowledge to make something like that myself. Though I would gladly, maybe commission's not the right word, I would gladly help someone who is trying to do something like that. Making a mod, that is. It's interesting because even Hollow Knight has tons and tons of mods to it. Even mods where like you can have an assault rifle. Mods that you can have a multiplayer in Hollow Knight. And obviously Hollow Knight's like a really well supported game, community-wise. But no one's really done the same thing for Dead Cells. Maybe because this game is already pretty random. It is at base value, yeah. Yo, Nano Tyrannus. Thank you for that raid. We're just talking about mods in Dead Cells. And how perhaps like the roguelike nature of it means that there's less mods. But to be fair, when you look at Binding of Isaac, oh my god. Did I see an amulet yet? I did. There's mods for Binding of Isaac. People have made like custom characters, custom weapons. There might be a case where like the tech doesn't allow for that. Like, maybe modding Dead Cells is not really modder friendly. What was that? That's just Uncle Tom. We don't bother Uncle Tom when he's in one of his moods. Just keep walking. Risk of Rain 2 has a lot of mods. Yeah, and that's a random game as well, where you can play Goku or Aatrox from League of Legends. So, like, imagine Dead Cells, but you can play as Vegeta. Like, that doesn't exist. Yeah, there might be a skin, but no one's made a Kamehameha. No one's made a Final Flash. No one's made Destructo Disc in Dead Cells. Ow, I couldn't dodge. Honestly, if I don't get screwed gameplay-wise, I feel like this Nuzlocke should be a wrap with this build. Oh my god, look at them all. That's a tier 3. It's not a tier 3. How in the world did that thing not turn into tier 3? In some ways, I feel like I should be a little stronger. I do the opposite of a randomizer, meaning that you can only get weapons from their original biome. Yeah, I think... So think of the Nuzlocke. We're only getting one item per biome. Like, some rules in a mod that makes things like that happen. I think there's definitely some room for someone to experiment. Okay, let's check out these shops. Okay. Surely, one of these shops has a brutality item. Maybe replace the Valmont whip? If it's a mimic. If it's not a mimic, then we're gonna waste our time. Okay. Nice. So mimicked infantry bow doesn't work with scheme, but still pretty strong, I feel. Let's get the food, and I think we can bounce. Do you have the same rule for mutation on items? If you mean affixes, I cannot reroll my affixes. Whatever item I pick up, and that's the thing about traits in Pokemon. Not that I really know how the traits work in Pokemon, but the concept is that if you find a shy Electabuzz, you can't take the shy off. Unless things have happened in Pokemon that I am out of the loop on, which is fine. The same concept is applying here, where I find a shy infantry bow. I am not allowed to turn it into aggressive or whatever other things exist in Pokemon. Okay, so like we got poison the enemy, but I cannot get rid of that electricity. And then this thing right here that does bonus while we're full, I can't get rid of that either. You're stuck. Yo, Andre Numbers, good to see you. Cavern? Cavern with phaser? Well, we have... Oh, we lost Valmont Whip. I really don't want to do Step Poker. Maybe it's a rare Clock Tower run. If you drop an item for a different one and find that item again later, can you pick it up or is it dead? So the item should be dead. Like, we can pick it up. Okay, wait. Let me back up. If the new item shows up in a different biome, the regular rules apply. where you can pick up 1 item per biome. The items aren't dead in this setup. Only mutations die. Wow. That exploded really fast. And part of the reason why is that in Pokemon, let's say your first Pokemon that you run into is a Pidgeotto, and you find another Pidgeotto in the next area, those are 2 different animals. I think it would be wrong to not allow you to pick it up, unless that is the actual rules, and I just don't know. I hope it's not. What if I want to run dual Pidgeotto? Is that illegal? Is that a skull skin? Yes, it is. It's actually one of the best designed skins in this game. Just from a, oh my god, this is completely unlike anything we have. Hello? First amulet? Definitely don't do that. Oh my god! Oh my god, I actually died from that. I knew I shouldn't have pressed the corrupted power button. I 100% knew, and I did it anyway. For some reason, the spacing between the Oven Knight and the Cannibal was too cursed. I'm gonna try the Arknight's music real quick. I don't remember what music this is in Katana Zero. It's really different than the other music. Maybe it's disco? It could be. There is a list on the mod. Let me see if this works. This mod may automatically unlock certain items. Oh, I think this was a skin, not music. Never mind. Clock Tower was... We're going over to the skin. Oh, the workshop. The workshop has a ton of different music on it, all listed under cosmetic. Clock Tower is called Driving Force Neon Fog. I don't know if that's helpful to you at all. Maybe it's like the driving sequence. Oh, okay. I'm gonna need you all's help on this. Can I get an exclamation point roll, R-O-L-L 3 in the chat? That's rolling a D3. I just want to grab a drink. 2. Okay, so when I come back, we'll be using the hemorrhage. I had coffee, but it's getting a little warm, so I wanted something a little cooler. Sorry for the ASMR, everybody. Thank you, Pyro. This is good. We never ever get to play hemorrhage, so I feel like you all are in for a treat today. Can I get a Y in the chat if you have hemorrhage unlocked? Or give me an N if you do not. Oh my god, Reinhardt tanking? A lot of Ys, a lot more than I expected. Now, for my people who do have this, what's your rating for this thing? S all the way down to F. Where would you put the hemorrhage on the tier list? If you don't have it, like, just watch the gameplay and decide from there. I've been on 5BC for so long, but I have only made it to hand once on it. Hey, I just died myself. Oops. I might be right there with you. I might not even get to hand the king today. Dude, that could be a prediction in and of itself. What happens when I run out of ammo? How do I kill elites? Am I just screwed? Got some back. I was gonna say, just whatever I did, just do the same thing when I get my ammo back. Yo, was that thing twerking? What that rat doing? Unlucky. You just run for the rest of your life. Fair. Oh my god, they're so tanky. Close one? The real issue is when you don't hit the same monster. Like when monsters are walking on top of each other and each one gets an axe and you only have 5 axes to go around, you have to commit 4 axes to kill the 2 monsters. And if you just so happen to hit like a 3rd monster, you get 3P'd like his Apex, you uninstall the game just like Apex. It's really, really bad. Like right here. So I pump 2 axes into the failed experiment. You can almost imagine that every time the failed experiment gets an axe, it's body blocking. It's tanking for the range. Oh god, where'd that one come from? Get axed? Stun on hit has a high chance? Yeah. It doesn't say that it's a stun on hit, but I almost assure you it is, because if you do this on Mamatic, it will interrupt Mamatic's attacks. Please be legendary. God. Yo, thank you, Quantum. This weapon needs infinite ammo. I'll let the devs know. Someone might say it could be busted. Like, I know there's a long windup. So you may think to yourself, V is perfectly balanced because, like, you literally ran out of ammo in prison quarters. So perhaps it needs a little help, perhaps. V, you've been in prison quarters for almost 5 minutes. I would say it might need a little bit of help. Where am I going? We'll investigate Toxic. Ammo mutation does work on this. But it's almost like I'm not willing to blow an ammo mutation on this. Oh my god, I missed! It's... wait. No, that's the original axe. I was about to say, it's actually in its leg. How'd it miss? sick. Can it get pierced? No. It can only get like additional arrows shot out. This is Arboretum, by the way. You have to go someplace with not a lot of bats, like kamikaze bats, and definitely no leeches. The legendary is bleed propagation, I believe. Where the idea is that you throw less axes because the next monster might have bleed. But just have it double ammo. Maybe that could be kind of cool. Kind of solves the same issue. All right, please give me a new weapon. I think I still have to double digivolve it. Just so I can actually do something. Oh, I don't have money. Interesting. Is that good? Maybe I just take it so when I reset my mutations, I don't lose tranquility. So whatever I'm doing, I'm dodging tranquility right now. If you kill something with networking, does it proc parting gift? Yes. Oh my god. We did it. No confidence. Bruh button. I just got to this map. Can I post a tutorial about making checkpoints in dead cells in chat? Is it something that requires a download? Really, what you want to do as a streamer, little streamer 101 for people out there or hopefuls, whatever, is if someone wants to post something that adds to the game and you maybe post a suspicious website, you want to kind of vouch for it at the same time. Unless the website that it tanked, that you use yourself. And by you, I mean hypothetical you, theoretical you. It's something that works in regular Dead Cells. If it's like a YouTube video, yeah, that's probably fine. If Epibot lets you do it. Is reducing the quality of items also a Nuzlocke rule? Yes. Reason why is that we don't really have a ton of uses for money if you can't buy things from shops. And also the idea that I can't reroll mutations, not mutations, I'm sorry, reroll affixes. The only thing I can really do is upgrade my weapon to possibly give it something better. Yeah, I think the networking concept was okay. What are the rules in regards to legendaries? Legendaries are free to take. You cannot re-roll them. You have to take them as is. Is a screen recorder okay? You mean whatever has the link for making checkpoints in Dead Cells is footage that someone recorded, like a YouTuber, for example. Oh God.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope
Yo,
everyone is
War.
doing well.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Saturday as well. I was gonna say, I think I died for that. First amulet? Sure. But yeah, if it's just like some person's YouTube that talks about it, most of the time just get me out. This is terrible. Most of the time I would shy away, but it's just helping game-wise, so it's probably fine to post. That was cursed. Alright, I need another exclamation point roll 3. I didn't think it would be that bad. I didn't think it would be that bad. Thank you, Primer. Shield? Imagine this is actually better than Hemorrhage. I do it in my game and record it to send the link. Have you already done all that work? If you mean it's something like streamable, or what's the other thing? Wait, I can't kill that because the bullets don't deflect. Interesting. I'm killing the rats because I probably need the money. Use head. One of the Nuzlocke rules, and this one you all can agree or disagree, is to not use your head. At least on like monsters. Because think about it this way. So you're doing the Nuzlocke, you get only a shield. Like, should you be allowed to press other buttons than the shield button? Like, not down slam. Down slam like you're just traversing. But I think there's some value in not being able to utilize the head. Or if you want to like pull enemies from each other. Say for example you have an elite that's in a terrible position. You could just use your head to aggro everything. I need one more scroll before I can leave. Dang. Maybe I could have parried that rat. It's not like head's OP. It's not, but it solves a pressing issue right now. And I feel like that removes a little bit of the difficulty. Yeah, just a teeny bit. Like, not enough to make it where, oh, this is an instant win because V pressed the R3 button. But the odds of losing has diminished a little bit, I think, if I pressed R3. Okay. A good panic button? It is. I just don't want to think about killing a monster. Take Shantae, for example. Or bombers for people who haven't really been in 5BC. I have $400. Mm-hmm. There's some monsters in the game where you can kind of just throw your head on them and they will die just to that because they have low HP. Bats are another example. Kamikaze bat, if you're worried that you can't kill it, you can just do this, tap the bat, and it dies. And that's what we're trying to avoid. I can't kill this either. Okay, so we are on a hunt. Well, that's not gonna help me. That's not good. Maybe I should have taken the oil grenade. We haven't lost yet. We have a plan. Please believe me, I have a plan. Copium, by the way, copium. So we could maybe go into frostbite. That's not gonna do anything. Who am I kidding? Now, we used to have a Nuzlocke rule where you could not skip monsters, but I decided to get rid of that because I think this situation happens too much. Where I saw a broadsword. It's legendary. This situation happens more often than not, where I literally cannot kill the monsters, so running is the play, but running's dangerous in 5VC. All the monsters will chase me down. So I feel like running should be legal. Oh my god! Okay, I need the parry. Thank you. Moss? I was behind it! Oh my god, where are you transforming? I just need the legendary. Rip immersion? Is that a tree? What am I looking at? Who knows what killed me? I know what killed me. I want to know if anyone in the chat knows what killed me there. And I'm gonna pull it up. I don't wanna spoil it though. I wanna know if anyone got the license plate. Yo, Marcus with the thing. The T1 18 months. The hubris was the killer. This darkest dungeon now. I needed the broadsword. Like, that was the actual game-winning item, was the broadsword. The game says not allowed. Let me go to the actual spot. Can someone give me an exclamation point roll 3? So we know what items we're picking up while I'm grabbing this clip. Okay, Firefox me. Okay. I just need the legendary rip immersion. Is that a tree? Yeah, I have never seen this before. I thought for sure I popped up some kind of block or something. Like I erected a wall. It was really weird. Okay, so we jump down. I see this, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get mushrooms thrown at me. I see this, so I'm like, okay, I can't be here because I have the axe coming. So let me drop down. I'll just parry the mushroom boy from the floor, which is fine. We do it. Easy parry. But there's something else lurking in the mist, lurking beyond vision. There's an unknown that's happening right now. So we get the parry. Headshots. We're back in PUBG Mobile. Oh.
Bruh.
The arm on this guy. Holy crap. Someone sign this person. TSM is calling. C9. Get this guy a sponsorship. Like, forget Dead Cells. That guy needs to get on Valorant. The roll 3 was... a 3. Greed Shield. I don't think I mind Greed Shield. Famous last words. What the heck just happened moment? Dead Cells moment. Greed Shield actually does damage. I mean, I still can't one-tap the monster, but it's something. Copium. Greed Shield does damage. Copium. Where's their delete? Oh, I didn't mean to break that door. See, isn't this some crap? Now, if I could use my head here, I would just win. That's why head's illegal. What was that Demolisher doing? Oh my god, I missed the timing. Can you hurt the explosion guy if you parry the melee? Yes. So yeah, you could go in and do the parry, but for some reason I missed it a lot. Maybe I just don't try hard enough. I could very well be the solution. V, try harder. Got it, got it. $100. Now, if we can get to a situation where we get to Arboretum and we see the first item, we can choose to not get the first item and buy instead. I'm getting hit by the same attack. Here we go, here we go. You're dead. You're dead to me. But yeah, we should be okay now. I'm trusting in the Greed Shield as the Greed Shield trusts in me. That's our exit. We're gonna run it back. 100%. Oh. Honto Deska. That's a legendary, I think. Most of the time, the elite does not have the scroll on it if it's starred. Nice. Would really suck if this was Aura. We can take laser. Yo, I got more money? They buffed the Greed Shield. You can now exploit the monster's wallet. Wait. Okay, that changes things a little bit. It did not have a legendary. It just had this. I don't want scrolls. Does that link work for me? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to look at the link right now. Though I do appreciate posting it. Okay. We gotta get out of here. There's nothing good about staying on this map right now. Except maybe a legendary over here. Give me your rat money. Could also be a challenge rift too, so a lot of times it is worth at least checking the area. Yo, I should try doing more soundtracks. Downloaded ones from the Steam Workshop. What do y'all think about the Katana Zero soundtrack in Dead Cells? Like, it's nice and serene once you get in here. Like you're about to get a warm towel presented to you. What you're supposed to do with the towel, I don't know. They got the seats warmed up. You just sit back, kick the feet up, and then they give you the warm towel to do something with. I don't know what. Okay, we're back, by the way. Like nothing ever happened. Disgusting. We don't die to rocks. Rocks are banned. Dwayne Johnson banned. I need an item. I didn't upgrade my greed shield. I'm trolling. Oh no, I know why I didn't. I didn't upgrade it because I might have to buy a weapon. Oh my god! Rock meta! It's over. There's a curse? Trust. Trust the process. Bruh button. I think I have to run. I really don't think I can just kill the mob on top of me. Especially if it doesn't have victims slow nearby enemies. It does not. Okay. Just wait. What in the world died? Oh my god, I shouldn't have done it. And I rescued it? I let it free? Free that. Okay. How am I dying with the OP shield? I wish the shield just gave me the win. I really do. Okay, here we go, here we go. Boom! Boom! But can you do that against bats? I don't think so. Okay. So now the money's worthless. My NFTs. First amulet. I don't think I need it. The nice curse. Thank you, game. Appreciate that. How on earth did that thing not die? Oh my god, I wish I could have that. Yeah, so again, the rules, we already got... Oh, no, we did not get our first item. That's the first item of the map. Because the first item was a curse. Oh my god, it could have been that. Imagine I walked in there first somehow, like by going upward. Okay. I think we're back in the game. We thought it was over. You never say it's over when you got the oven axe. Okay, maybe it is over. Who am I kidding? Draw a button. Alright, don't rescue anyone on the trampoline anymore. I think that's the next lesson that we learned today. Nice. Not nice. Alien was a pro gamer. We stand the alien in this house. Phantom slush. Music came back. No, it was only the shop music. I thought we were chilling for a second. Yeah, for those who haven't seen Legendary Cluster Grenade, it's actually really good. I would dare say S tier. Goodbye, buddy. Why do they call it oven axe? When you of the cold axe and out the hot swing. That's English. One of the hardest languages known to humankind. Jeez. We do have another rule in here where I cannot use health pots like I normally would. That's why you don't see me doing stuff with my pots. Pretty much most of my healing is gonna come from me parrying, which is not ideal. Not right now. And the melees, we're almost at 7. I would say maybe I'm just not proficient with the oven axe. I don't have a lot of XP in the oven axe. Oh, here we go. We got the chain. Really? I like that. Don't like that. Oh my god. I couldn't tell which way it was facing. Okay, here we go. Give me an easy parry. Thank you, game. This is not easy. Easy parry. A lot of people ask, V, can you give me tips on getting better at doing parries? Just parry the easy stuff. Anything more complicated, you'll get that over time. Focus on the easy. What is that? The Vorpan. Are you Abe Lincoln? I thought the axe was George Washington. Just use armadillo. Now, you may say, yeah, V. In this build, you absolutely want armadillo pack. But remember, this is the nuzzle. When you're getting nuzzled, you don't necessarily know if another shield's ever gonna show up. You have one, but you could get just back-to-back oven axes. And then you never get to upgrade out of the greed shield. Is this sick? I'll take it. Oh, here we go. Keep the chain going. Crap. Okay. That's about as much as I can do. Same species upgrade. Excuse me, pardon me. Makes the victim bleed. Wow, I don't think I've seen that before. Axe is Lincoln? But it's Washington that cut down the cherry tree. They didn't have scissors back then. So where's Washington's thunder? What is Nuzlocke? You can type !Nuzlocke to get the full rule set, but we're playing basically a challenge in Dead Cells. No! The hardest challenge in all of Dead Cells. Yeah, give me these parries. I'm down bad. Axe was Washington with the cherry tree, but the hat was Lincoln. Oh my god. See, I've been talking axes this whole time. I didn't know you all were looking at my character. You think I'm looking at my character? The only thing I'm looking at is my HP bar. And complaining about why it's so low. Easy parries. Go for the easy stuff. Is this harder than 0 to 5 BC speedrun? I mean, that's an endurance challenge. I feel like this is difficult for a different reason. It's difficult because it messes with your mental state. When you start off with Greed Shield, run by a bunch of monsters, and you get presented with an oven axe, your mental state comes into question. The tiltometer. No music? I guess my music's bugged, cat. We have custom music on, but it seems to struggle on this area. All right, we have one more to go through. Then we'll be good. I mean, I do apologize for that. I know that if I were watching someone streaming my favorite game, but they were streaming it with no music on, I would probably not enjoy it as much. Like, from a viewer standpoint. Turn on the Dead Cells music? I can't. Once the run has started, the music's locked. The station is locked in. It's just like your parents saying, don't touch the thermostat. We can't touch the dial. Lincoln is often portrayed as the rail splitter. Yo, that sounds like a freaking MMO title. Like you beat the hardest raid in the game and you get the title Raid Splitter. Oh, please. Give me the music. All right, we're good to go. We got our upgrade, so let's just peace out. Did you know that when pressing tonfas and jump at the same time over and over while walking, you mean like slow walk? In the election of 1860, he was popularized as the rail candidate, and generations of biographers described him as practically growing up with an axe in the hand. Life goals? We have a lot of money. Just double upgrade everything. Double digivolve. Oh my god. Give me the hot towel. I gotta get like a dinner or something first. Play Undertale? I've never played Undertale. Is Undertale actually good? I know people like rave about it, but I feel like it's not. Am I wrong to think that? We're not keeping this, we're only using it to clear the curse. Though, survival spite sword? That doesn't happen very often. Maybe you don't skip that. I know it's double damage taken, but this is a rare first edition version of Spite Sword. Popular back in the 90s and early 2000s. You can't get these anymore. It's not like I ever use this affix either. Maybe we do keep this. Can't reroll, can't reroll. Rerolls are banned. We do one of these. Look at the crits. Wait, is this busted? Just hold the button, get the block, get most of your HP back. I mean, that really hurts. Hang on. I may have overestimated my abilities just now to stay alive. Alright, not bad, not bad. Why do you get HP back? This is the rare affix that no one ever uses. 1% HP heal per attack. First amulet? Double green? Lower HP though? I don't think you take it. Give me a block. Sick. Challenge rip. Blessed run. You love this affix? You try to keep it? Really? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that usually most people shy away from this. Myself included. Because a lot of times it's not a weapon that can get a ton of HP back at a time. This is pretty nice because I can. I actually parried. Apparently that's illegal. Did my wormettes get stunned when I parried? Wait, what? What did I just see? Okay. Give me this. Yeah, you all see that? Maybe the wormettes are still getting hit, but I'm not. Be kind of weird. If you were to put the spite sword in your backpack with Porcupack, would you heal? Yes. like 99% certain. I feel like me saying yes instantly to people's questions in the chat might be considered a bad habit. Like, I should give the game the benefit of the doubt sometimes and assume that I could be wrong. But sometimes we just want to throw out the hard why. Okay, so first item. Flawless. No. Is it really Face Flash Spite Sword while survival? No way. That can't be what this build is. I think you take that until the end of the game. Excuse me, pardon me. Ow, that does a lot of damage. I didn't know. Oh god, wait. We gotta calm it down a little bit. This is busted build hunter now? This is actually kind of sick. Give me my money. $100 for every parry. You're asking V, can I get some tips on how to learn how to parry? I bet if I gave you $100 for every parry, you'd be a parry god. In an hour. It's the hyperbolic time chamber. You'd be parrying stuff that your parents never knew about. You'd be parrying illegal things at that point, just to get that $100. The reason why this is legal, this map, so long as you're lucky and no monsters drop an item, you have guaranteed 4-way choice here. Okay, ossuary. I need stats, por favor. And we do have a shield too, so this should be fine. No food in Nuzlocke? Food is legal. You're allowed to do all the food. I just didn't want that infected food because I'm gonna heal to 100% anyway. Should have rolled for the item choice. That, I'm not opposed to that being a rule. I'm definitely not. I don't want to double digivolve that. Or do I? I think it gives you damage reduction. -6 into -7. And then I'm not married to the kill rhythm here. I want soldiers. Yeah, this is really good. Instincto? Yeah, let's reset. We lose out on kill rhythm and what doesn't kill me. So those are now dead to us. And we'll go soldier, necro. So if I do get too low, we have a chance to get like all of our HP back. And then instincto. And I actually think this is a game-winning build right here. 1,000,000%. Vengeance? Oh yeah, I forgot vengeance was a thing. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. 60% bonus damage, we don't need that. We just need to not die. Fake brutality. We almost had true fake brutality just now. Yeah, I don't really have a good emote for like he doesn't know. A V doesn't know moment. El no sabe. Survivitality. Yo, I could change the color. Yeah, let's do that. Redtality. Let's do this. Oh my god. The blood red survival build. Never before seen color palette. This is the color palette the devs told you not to worry about. We can do this now. That's a legendary up ahead. Can we get any guesses in the chat what that legendary might be? This music's fire? Yeah. Like I said, I want to do these more often. Other game music while playing Dead Cells. Not that I have an issue with Dead Cells music. Wow, first amulet, kind of bad. It's a tentacle for sure. First item? Rampart or Wolf Trap? I don't think I like the Wolf Trap. But we could maybe Rampart here? Bubble Eyes? I know people were saying that perhaps you should re-roll this. And not re-roll, do like exclamation point roll. Yeah, good against Conjunct, I agree, but this weapon's pretty fast with good flotation. And I don't want to use a Wolf Trap in an Instincto build. I'd rather have something with punch to it, you know? And or I'd rather have a literal punch. Do you take it? So those who haven't seen the legendary symmetrical lance, 300% bonus damage. Was there a challenge rift? Can you try typing secret in the chat? Backpack it? If I backpack and reset, I lose all my other mutations. The Nuzlocke rule is that the mutations die when you reset. I don't know, I'm like super tanky. Like, I get it. I'm in 100% agreement. But I'm not doing it. I promise you it's 100% agreement. I'm doing the literal wrong thing by not taking that. But like, look at that. I can just tank. We can backpack it, sure. Oops. For good luck. Why would you need to reset? Because I don't want to run. Oh, because of Porcupack. People were asking about Porcupack. If I reset my mutations to take Porcupack, then we lose out on 2 of my mutations. That's the rules that we have set. Guess I'll go up. Rift was next to the legendary. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if the secret popped up on the screen. Yo, Beats? Can I get an exclamation point jam in the chat? If I were a legendary, no, it was here. If I were a challenge rift. So hyped for this update on the Switch. Yeah, this is soon. Coming soon to your area. Hot updates in your area. One click away. As soon as it's out though, not now. Back in the day, you couldn't dodge roll those crap. Good thing I took off that other sword. Whatever. All right. Let's get out of here. Working a lot recently, missing watching the vids live. Yo, Putz. Just hearing that you're doing all right out there, hopefully you're doing all right, is enough for me. Happy you could stop by. Nice elite. Another one. Should let it change. Yeah, when you're playing the Nuzlocke, maybe having a build like the Symmetrical Lance isn't necessary. You just want the healing. Need heals. Genji style. Look at that. You just eat them. Eat it like the sashimi it is. Topped with a little bit of salmon roll. Though this double key? This thing was loaded. It had that old money. Back in my day, we got double the keys with our own bootstraps. Kids these days are lucky they can even get one. Wow, Toxic Cloud. I can only watch you on Sundays? Is it Sunday where you are, Rajit? You'd have to be 12 hours ahead. Oh, Saturday. Yeah, we didn't always used to stream on Saturdays. This is technically new. We've been doing Saturday streams for maybe like a year now. Right around the time that we did the partner push. Is when we started streaming on Saturdays. And I'm sure Saturdays is what kind of made the difference there. We've tried to incorporate it. The only thing about being live on a Saturday afternoon is, you know, to be fair, Saturday afternoon is prime time for fun stuff. So if I plan, let's say I want to go to a movie on a Saturday afternoon. I want to see Nope by Jordan Peele, bright and early so I don't have nightmares. The only way for me to do that is to either stream later. We'll double. Oh, I can't sell. May as well just eat it. Stream later. do a quickie stream, or you know, just have a nice day off so I can watch Jordan Peele's latest movie. Should be good here. Can you switch weapons mid biomes for bosses? Yeah, if you're carrying the weapon in the backpack, you're free to switch. Yeah, real first world problems. The other big thing is like, sometimes I want to mow the lawn bright and early, and I can't do it on a Saturday. So my lawn mowing day is Sunday now. Cluster's kind of awful in this fight. Should be fine though. And I'm okay with that, but then like, maybe you push off watching the movie until Sunday. Okay, Sunday rolls around, now I gotta mow. Yo! Wait for the parry. Let's see if we can still get the legendary out of this. I'm pretty sure you do, but I'd be lying if I've said I've done this recently and can guarantee there's a legendary. Oh my god, this music is way too good. Parry? Dang. Parry? They're not even aiming at me. Yo, I suddenly need someone to put Katana Zero music on Beat Saber. Imagine playing this track on Expert Plus. Parry? Wait, why did my face flash not give me my damage? My crits. Oh. All right. What's the hardest boss to no hit? I'd probably say Servants. I've been struggling with tactics due to having less health. Any tips? What a lot of people do, to be perfectly honest, is they use Gastro Masochist every tactics build. And you may think to yourself, well, V, I kind of need the what? The Tranquilo? I need the support. I need the Crow's Feet. I need to go triple purple mutation. I would say if you're dying with triple purple mutation, consider not doing that for a little bit. Take one purple mutation max and then run 2 survivability ones. Oh, we got the legendary, even though I was spamming Face Flask. Wrong button, by the way.
Bruh.
VeeDotEditor. We're going to remove that one from the YouTuber. No one needs to know what was in there. All right. Does Shieldbreaker legendary on Symmetrical Lance break Conjunctivious shield between phases? The answer is no. It does not. Conjunctivious essentially turns into a JPEG when it goes into that phase. That's different from Concierge. Concierge does actually take damage when it's in bubble. Hand the King also does not take damage there. Whoa, I still got hit. What's Curse Sword's legendary affix? Quadruple damage. with an asterisk on it. It's quadruple the damage with one caveat. You are not allowed to press any other button than the cursor button. Freaking rat gamers, I swear. Like I'm back in Tarkov. First item is lightning bolt. Maybe I shouldn't have looked. Okay, it would have been wave denial anyway. But okay, here's a question for you all in chat. So we looked at the key and I moved my camera so I saw lightning bolt or lightning rods, which means that that's the first item. I cannot pick any other item unless it's cursed or legendary. Now, if I had not looked, if I had not moved my camera and if I did not open my map, so I could not see the item, does it count as that was my first item if I never saw it? Knowing for sure that there's an item in there, I'm going to say I'm not gonna look because I know it's gonna be trash. Do I have to look? V, you know there's an item there. Don't cheat. Wow, I didn't even get the parry. Bruh button? Don't press face flash, by the way. You will actually die. Pretend you don't know. He didn't know. El no sabe. Oh, we have Necro. Yo, double the heals, double the pogs. I forgot about that. You don't have to look. Yeah, I have hours in this game. I never knew there was a freaking item in there. Judge? I didn't know. Is that first amulet? I think it is. I'll gladly take that if it is. Yeah. Like I said, I wish I had a mod to take care of that for me. Not like a moderator, I mean a modded Dead Cells game that automatically knows that I picked up an amulet and it won't spawn a new amulet. Or it'll lock me out from picking another one. Nice. Thank you for all the answers, by the way, everybody. I know it's kind of odd that the person who made up the challenge is asking questions, but it's more so like from a viewer standpoint, I want you all to be entertained and not confused. So for example, someone asked earlier, V, did you just refill all your health pots in a Nuzlocke? That doesn't seem very hard now. The answer is no, we actually have no health pots. We have decided on a new rule where I am not allowed to heal except for after the boss. So I have only 3 heals in the entire game. 4 if you count Queen. Keep it going. And I think that that's fairly balanced for me to not be able to use a health pot during the biome at all. But we're always, even though the game's hard enough as is, we're always looking for ways to balance out Nuzlocke specifically to make sure it's not too easy. But not like so difficult that it's artificial. We don't want artificial difficulty. Sick. An example of artificial difficulty is something like I have to start with Rusty Dagger. And all that really does is delay prison quarters. Like, there's no entertainment value that the viewer's getting out of me playing Rusty Dagger through prison quarters. Like, the whole fun is to see random items and then try to make a build out of it. I did post the rules for the Nuzlocke on Reddit one time. I don't really post on Reddit very often because I don't always get kind feedback. But sometimes I do. And there were some pretty good ideas that I think we've already incorporated. One of them being like the removal of flasks entirely. But I don't think I have anyone else out here who might be running this challenge. I know one person came in the chat before and said, "Yo, V, I just died in your Nuzlocke." And I was kind of geeked about that. Not gonna lie. If I were a game dev and like a viewer, not a viewer, a player came into my game dev stream or tweeted me saying, "Hey dev, I just died in your game," I'd be happy. That's sick. I've been spraying Dead Cells word through my friends, but at Brazil, 50% of the players like games like CSGO. I don't think that's a Brazil issue. Just to say that. It's funny because we'll watch Game Awards and family game night, or we'll watch on stream. And during Game Awards, they show the latest Call of Duty Modern Warfare trailer. And like, you could just imagine me and my wife spamming Resident Sleepers mentally. Like, obviously we're just talking to each other and there's no chat box, but we know it's Resident Sleeper. But like, the crowd is hyped up. And I'm not gonna say that they're bad games. It's just Resident Sleeper for me. I'm right there with you, giving out the good word of games like Dead Cells, games like One Step from Eden. But then once new Call of Duty releases, then you're screwed. Though what's kind of nice is stuff like God of War. Like, at least we know that there's high quality games in AAA studios. Not to say that Call of Duty is not high quality. But I want to know that people are hyped up for that kind of stuff. Hyped up for the Horizons. Hyped up for the Ratchet and Clanks. I think this is a good cavern build. We don't want to go Scarecrow because Scarecrow would actually destroy me. Why do I have no HP? I have 8,000 health? How in the world did that happen? I feel like I have to go cavern just for the high level amulet. Some bullcrap. New Call of Duty, upgraded HUD, upgraded names. So the fun thing about watching Call of Duty trailers, a lot of times they will showcase a scene from the game. Scarecrow won't destroy you because of Rampart. I'm not gonna parry. That's the problem. I'm gonna spoil it for you. I'm not pressing the Y button for the rest of the game. But yeah. They show an animated trailer, not animated, the CGI scene from the game where you're in the boat and like they're shooting rockets at you, you're dodging, like everyone else is dying around you except your character. Like the person driving the boat is drifting, looking like it's Tokyo Drift. Yo. Beats to play Dead Cells by? It's like, how many times am I gonna see that? How many times has my Call of Duty character been in a boat that can't seem to be shot out of the water? Sorry, no exclamation point song on this one. This is, I think I still have it up. This is hit the floor from... Forgot what game I'm playing. Katana Zero soundtrack. First item. All right. See, this is the cool thing about the Nuzlocke. Imagine if I took that wolf trap, right? If I took the wolf trap, I would be locked into wolf trap all the way past the giant. And as you all know, the giant completely immune to wolf trap. So that's like where I have fun with the Nuzlocke. Those choices are literal win-loss. Now it's kind of hard to buy because I'm skipping a choice of a skill. What was it? So the rules that we were saying is that if you skip the item, you can buy from the shop, but it has to be the same type of item. So for example, this is a skill, this is a weapon. So to me, that means that I can buy anything I want. And to be fair, the shops are locked in. I can't reroll those shops. But it seems a little strong that I can buy from a shop and get a weapon. Outside of bank. Like bank, we added that rule because the whole fun of bank is to buy. Bruh button. I mean, that was a get good, I guess. Get destroyed. Here we go. Here's where all my health is. It's on this map. No. We're not afraid of Pumbaa. Wait, is that Pumbaa or is that Timon? Does anyone happen to know? An elite, one or the other. It's Pumbaa. Elite Pumbaa. Oh, it's a meanie. It's a meanie. Crap. First amulet, it is. That's brutality, right? I'm losing 2 survival. Look at how much health that is. What do you all think? Why in the chat, if I lose 2 survival and take a bunch of health, or N in the chat if no V, damage is king and queen. Never ever drop your damage to win the game. I'd rather you lose the game, V, than drop damage. Oh my god, that's such a better amulet and I can't take it. At least we got beats. Didn't you say you were only tanking, no parry allowed? Yeah, but then I got scared. Because I missed a parry somewhere. It's not gaslighting. Things changed. Situations changed. It's an unknown unknown. I don't know if I have to parry after I said I won't do it anymore. There's a direct need that I wasn't aware of. Why don't you all want me to have 7,000 extra health? 7,000's a lot. Just to say that. I understand YouTubers out there is gonna tell you to not lose damage. Don't listen to all the YouTubers out there. There's only one YouTuber you need to listen to. Is the one begging you to let me pick a different amulet. Have I ever played Nier Automata? No. We were talking about that earlier. I was asking chat if Nier Automata is a scam game. Like, people say it's good, but do they really mean it? Chat claims yes, they mean it. It is good. I'm skeptical though. We might have some wow. Nice YOLO. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Either way, people are saying it's not a scam, so I should believe them. What's the highest scroll count on an amulet? So right now it's 4. And we've never seen a number above that in Dead Cells. But remember, this game's not done updating. So there could be a scenario where, you know, one day out there, you might find the legendary amulet with 5. Though I wouldn't mind if there was a way for me to like spend either money, probably money. I don't really want to spend cells for that kind of thing. Spend money to re-roll or upgrade my amulet. Or both. Like upgrade turns it into a 4. Well, right now it's a 3. It would go from a 3 to a 4. And then re-roll it as much as I want. Can I outplay this? No. Well, I think I mistimed it. I was thinking I could get the bubble from my face flask. Oh, my face flask doesn't actually bubble me, even though I have a shield. Interesting. I hate the amount of times I'm stuck with an early amulet. You mean because you haven't gotten damages, right? So for example, that amulet would have been amazing had it been more damage. But because it's not, you're not willing to drop. Which is fair. Even just the reroll I think would be fine. Just with a money cost. I think everything in the game should have some kind of money cost to it. Like even, and this might be a hot take. So we have merchandise categories in the game. Merchandise categories allows you to get whatever item from the shop corresponds to a certain color. And it's free to do. I kind of would like, maybe it's a 6 BC thing. In 6 BC, you now have to pay money to do merchandise categories. That makes the money more valuable. It makes your thought process more valuable. Yeah, random is free. That I'm okay with, because with random, it takes it from whatever color it wants. So then you're spending the rerolls on actually getting a color that you want, but now the reroll has caused the item to go up in value. But because merchandise categories has been around for a long time, because you can use it in 0 BC, I wouldn't necessarily want them to change it at base value. Make it like a harder difficulty thing. 6 BC, bruh, I'm stuck on 3 for more than a year? Hex nah. That's fine. Like, don't make it, maybe no achievements behind it. Or do like a Hades heat system or something, where I can opt into merchandise categories now cost money in exchange for being on 6 BC. I should check this corner. Yeah. That makes unlocking the categories pointless. Well, the categories are so that you can only have survival show up, for example. If you don't, you might have a shop that's all brutality, and you have to re-roll it over and over again until you have to buy a $10,000 broadsword. Compared to paying, say, $2,000 to access merchandise categories for survival, and then maybe that broadsword's only $8,000. V, but the math. Don't worry about the math right now. That's a non-issue. All right, let's get out of here. That was a good little biome. Unfortunately, I didn't upgrade my amulet at all. I should clear this to make sure there's no challenge rift. Customize the scroll count on an amulet in custom mode. Yeah, I don't think I would mind that as a custom mode option. Like I said, we don't really have a lot of mod controls, I believe. So just anything that takes the place of mods, I would take. Yo, Cad, with the roguelike suggestion, Curse the Dead Gods. Thank you for that. I'll be sure to add that one once we get to that portion of today's stream. Let's check the shops. I didn't take an item. So if we were to follow the rule that I can buy from the shop, because I did not take an item, let's at least see what we had access to. Giant whistle. Probably be pretty good right now. Maybe I just get a new cluster. Is there a third shop? Crusher. Crusher would be pretty good on spoiler. But I kind of want to see Giant Whistle. We don't get to play Giant Whistle very often. And this does very good with a Instincto build. For those wondering, why am I allowed to buy that? We're buying it because we skipped getting an item on this. And typically, like, you don't have a lot of money because you're using it on the double Digivolve, trying to upgrade your gear. But we lucked out by finding stuff that we've been using for the whole game. Do you know if the new updates they will be rolling out? Will there be any more DLC? They only said, but they only said they have plans up to winter 2024, and then at least a year's worth of updates. We don't know if that includes DLC. Could it? Definitely possible, especially to keep paying for the game. But I don't think we have been directly told that information yet. Okay, some nice double Digivolves. I used this too early. My bad, so we just won't use it in the next one. Kind of a fat finger. Big surprise. Yeah, I still don't know what a big surprise could be. Like, if it's not Dead Cells 2, if it's not multiplayer. Yo, music? Yeah. Oh my god. Wait. Did I dodge it? Type Y in the chat if I dodged it, or type N if I didn't. Huh? What? Who is this guy? We're not allowed to skip, so we will be going to high peak most likely. Yo, Mace, GGWP. I got the no hit. Am I him? We gotta check this out. Is he him? With the good music? Give me a copy. Give me a paste. Give me a Firefox. Multiplayer. Okay, so I know that Giant Whistle interrupts lasers. Like, that's just like knowledge that I already have. So when I saw Giant Whistle coming back up and I saw that, well, it's punch first. I didn't want to do it here. I wanted to save it for the eyeball. But then I was like, oh yeah, there's lasers. I'm gonna interrupt this with Giant Whistle and then I'm safe. But I forgot about the next part, which is if I do that, what's the giant gonna do? He's not just gonna stand there. He's got plays. Plays for days. So now we're in this situation. And like, I already know. I already know. But what's the outplay? Just stand there and take it? So we jump. Roll. Did the phase flash stop me from hitting the wall? What? You can change speed with arrow keys? That's me hitting the button. You can't hear that. It's not arrows? Yeah, I'm doing the comma button, basically. If I'm doing the actual arrows, it does this. But comma period, I think, is a YouTube thing. Yeah. Oh my. What's this? What did 2,000 damage? Phase flash animation stopped you at the last moment before laser. I think that's a I'm just him moment. That's one of these.
You average 280? I don't believe you. Do you know how you carry a 280 average?
You gotta be him. I'm him.
I'm him.
You are not him. You are not him.
What do you mean?
You are not him.
No, I'm not him. I'm just him.
No, you're an idiot.
You can't say that. After seeing this, that's messed up. Okay. Everyone is open to their own opinion. It's fine. Wormettes. It's not bad, but when you're rocking an Instincto build, you can't. Keep it going. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get hit anyway, so we didn't fully cheat. What happened? The screen froze and you heard a Karen. That usually when your screen freezes, a Karen does show up. So that is very fair. Yo. Shut up. You too. I gotta find more music. It's not that Dead Cells music is bad, this is just different. It hit different. I gotta fight this. Yo. Wait, wrong target. Okay, so if you parry and then press Face Flask right after, you actually don't take any damage. Just hilarious. Because you have the bubble. Ah, I messed it up. Yo, I gotta see what other soundtracks are on Steam for Dead Cells. I know Nier Automata's in there, but that's a scam game. Why doesn't anyone have the Sonic Adventure 2 OST as a Dead Cells mod? That's messed up. I'll put that on right now if I didn't freaking die to this monster. Can we absolutely break the Dead Cells Nuzlocke question mark? With the at the end of it? Is this the banned item in the Nuzlocke? Green Sada Stiletto with double damage taken but also heals 1%? Surely that's illegal. Get popped. First item, spike shoes. Not ideal. I'll be taking that. Did you know you can parry the giant's fist from above? Yes, actually. Actually, I did, but I've only been able to do it from off to the side. So, and I'm going to say this, I hope you all believe me. It's okay if you don't believe me. I'm very open to you all's interpretation of what I'm gonna say. But I jumped with the concept of I will parry in the air. But then I saw that I was dead center and I opted out. The jump roll was not really what I planned to do. I'm sure you all will believe that part. But the actual outplay in my head was jump parry. I just don't think I could do it directly under the fist. I would have to test that out. Sick. Is this first amulet? I think it is. We take that. Have you checked out 20XX, 30XX? So we have 30XX on Roguelike Draft, I think. I played a little bit of it. I actually think it's a fun game. I've never really gotten into Mega Man style games. You believe me? Thank you, Stoops. Even if you're just trying to gas me up a little bit, V, I know you had a hard day on Tuesday. No, Wednesday. Well, it was the whole week. So I'm just helping you out, buddy. Thank you, thank you. You don't need to jump with the rampart. Okay, I just don't know what the position is. Like, if I could do it dead center, that would be amazing. And I would do it every game. I don't know. I'd have to try it. So yeah, what happened on Monday, Tuesday? We've always had issues with our toilet. And like I kind of glossed it over because A, I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to have to think about it. And B, so long as the toilet was doing its thing, it's like, oh, that's an issue for another day. Tell me when it's actually broke. So then I went downstairs into the basement, just looking for River, because River likes to chill down there sometimes. But I was trying to get in the habit of, if I'm going into the basement, I should probably just look around, make sure there's no animals down there. Also chilling with river. B, water damage. Because even though it's been a drought, after drought conditions, when the water starts coming in, it's coming in hot and coming in fast. So I need to make sure that we're not like leaking anywhere. So I go over to a corner and I have the flashlight and I just look around and I'm like, oh snap. Underneath the toilet, well, the sewer line, or the toilet, it's all damp and it's wood. So like, it's not unnoticeable. Like as soon as you see the color's different, you know that's water. So I go and I tap it with my bare hands. They're just bad. I tap the water under the toilet with my bare hands and I realize, hey, this is still wet. So I go upstairs, flush the toilet. I don't see anything around the toilet. I'll go back downstairs and like, oh, it is even more wet now after I did that. So come to find out, the toilet is leaking underneath into the basement. Not very much, but enough that if it's left unchecked, probably not good. Probably, maybe, possibly. So on Wednesday, I put it off for a day and a half, thinking like, okay, this is Wednesday's problem. For the first time ever, I took a toilet out with my own bare knuckles. Took me hours to take that toilet up because it's so boosted the way how it's on. And like, no offense to the people who were here before, like I'm sure they had tried their best as people who may not do that kind of thing normally. I certainly don't. Let's make sure it's not a challenge rift here. So yeah, took the toilet off, went to Home Depot, bought a new toilet. First time ever installing a toilet. Have to take 2 trips to do it. Come to find out, toilets are also extremely heavy. So I feel like I actually got my full year's workout getting that thing into the Honda Civic and out again. But all in all, you know, it's not that bad, to be perfectly honest. Like, yeah, it's bad to have to go out and buy a toilet and do the work. But out of all the things that I've had to do, that's quote-unquote adult stuff, that one was not that bad. I would not mind doing it again if someone was to call me and say that, hey V, my toilet's broken. I know you hooked it up at your house. Can you do the same for us? Maybe. I just need a Twitch Prime sub to go along with that. Your blah blah about your problems. Gonna talk about the game and not feel guilty. Yeah, it's bad. Especially car stuff. If I have a car issue, like you gotta drag me out of the house to take care of it. It's the most tilting thing on the planet to have something happen to the car. Like, I'm lucky I have a spot that I'll take it to. And like, I don't even care. They can charge me an extra $1,000 for, like, it could be change the carpet on the car. V, that's gonna cost you $1,000. Eh, whatever. I don't want a deal. Yo, music. Another one. Oh my god. No hang time? I thought I could get at least a little something. Yo, get all my health back. Get whistled. I was about to say, wait, who's gonna go in? Me or you? Voltate? Ooh. This is looking like a clean Nuzlocke as soon as we got that Spite Sword and Base Flask combo that also heals me. I didn't know. Oh yeah, we can't leave. He didn't know that those were good items. Not bad, not bad. Sorry for the no predictions in Dead Cells, by the way. I feel like I'm on a roll right now. I haven't even taken a break. As a reminder, after this run, we will do... What are we doing after this run? We're doing... Draft and marbles. Symmetrical lance for spoiler? We could big brain it and like try to swap at that moment. Or I could just not use the shield. I wonder which is more effective. What I mean by big brain it, I mean like weapon swap. It sounds like Stranger Things music. It sounds like Vecna's about to show up. Is this what people call synthwave? Does anybody know? Anyone a music proficionado? I wish there was more draft. It's fun. The reason why I do draft only on Saturday right now is because of the amount of people. I don't know if I could do the same on a weekday. I'm not opposed to it at all. Just, you know, streamer stuff. Sometimes you gotta think about the number as well as the pogs. In a lot of ways, pogs equal numbers. But you gotta be cognizant of both. This sounds like synthwave. I just found out not too long ago, I think it was Robin in the chat saying that drum and bass is a thing. And I brought that up with Olsenburst because I have a playlist that's called Drum and Bass. And I literally thought it was just drum and bass. Like it's not like a genre, it's just here's what you expect. Wait, is that first amulet? Oh my god. We got an amulet that actually matters. Toxic Cloud, when you take damage, does it work? Bruh button? It breaks your controller?
Bruh.
Why did it disconnect? Yeah, Toxic Cloud. Just for using Face Flask. That's kind of hypey. Wrong target. Is it just me or is failed experiment used to be hard and now it's easy? I think it's just a knowledge thing. Like, once you know what to expect from the failed experiment, you know how to outplay it. Failed experiment is only as powerful as you let it be. There it is. That's what we like to see. Too much power for one controller. No one controller can have all this power. Power tripping, no, the controller counts the hours, not me. Stop tripping, it's tripping on the power. Watch me die. It's a free. Maybe I should just drop the sword completely and just use the lance on the boss. Did we get first item? We have not. Okay. My God. Why? Like, what's the giant aiming at? Somebody turn on the aim assist for this thing. Aim lab, something. That was god awful. Dang. Kinda hoping for a phaser there, but I can't do that shop anyway. I can't make that jump. Unless... I didn't double jump there? Toxic. Are you not gonna give me the double jump? Oh wait, do I just lose now? All right, TIL, don't force it if you don't have to. This soundtrack's a little chill. I don't know how I feel about it 100%. We don't often have chill beats in our Dead Cells. It's like I'm back in whatever the town is with Hop. Wow. And there's a Shantae up there too. If I can just kill the bomber. Oh my god. I don't really enjoy doing that. Oh. Everything changed. What's the thing aiming at? It's attacking monsters that aren't even on the screen. Like non-threats. I think it's working for the enemy right now. But yeah, this is another example of why we ban head use. Is that a lot of these enemies would simply die if I did this to it. Or I could pull it down to me. And I feel like that might be a little strong in the Nuzlocke. Even the birds up top, I'm not gonna do that to. I'm getting trolled. That's the only explanation. I'm getting trolled. How are the runs going? It's actually going pretty well. We're almost done with this one, assuming everything goes well. I guess I don't really need this. Oh no, I do. So since we don't have health flasks, and we're healing after every boss, we have healed 3 times. Technically, if I was playing the game at base level, I would have another health pot. And I would be able to use said health pot before spoiler. But I cannot, because it's turned off. It's actually trolling. I'm actually trolling. We can at least get some HP back just from basic attacks. So yeah, I'm not gonna use the health fountain in the transition area. I feel like that might be a little strong. But to be fair, if I was fighting the queen after servants, then I could. Yo, Yopsilon. Good to see you. Pitpock. I don't think I said hi to either of you earlier. So, deepest apologies. Alright. You got the whistle. Stranger alert. Alright, looking good, looking good. 37 survival. And we're not even doing... Oh my god, I got right there on the seed. This is a busted seed. This is really good. 922, remember this one, chat. 922294. Can I get someone to type that into the chat? 922294. Yo, if you say it backwards, it's the same thing. 37 survival. No damned mutation. Reset? No, because we can't lose instinct though. Or can we? So if I reset, I lose soldier, I lose necro, I lose instincto, I gain vengeance, I gain dead inside. What else would I get? Disengage? Recovery. Okay. I think that's the hit. Remember, I don't have health pots. Vengeance? What else did I say? Dead inside? Recovery. 28 million HP. Money mutation? That probably wouldn't be too bad, but I take double damage. So I feel like getting gold plating with double damage is not gonna do enough for me. All right, everybody. This is spoiler territory coming up. If you don't want to see this fight, back out now. But good things are gonna happen. Amazing things might happen here. Illegal things might happen. We got 37 survival and not a single survival mutation. It is pretty good. I will say it's pretty good. But without further ado, let's get in here. This is, I want to say, our second spoiler boss on the current patch with the Nuzlocke. If you enjoyed Nuzlocke content, let me know, because I actually have a blast with it. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, just look at the description of the video or ! Nuzlocke in the chat. Back again for the medicine. We did keep the shield on so I can stop the spin. No. Does help there a little bit, but I can't actually hit it. Okay, get ready. It's happening. Wait, it didn't happen. There it is, okay. Your item does follow you. Like, I don't really have to pick it up. But I will anyway. Look at the damage. He's trying to heal as best as he can, to the best of his ability. Can't be done. Wait. Sucker. Oh. Oh, it can't be. That's not good. That's messed up. That's the hardest boss in all of Dead Cells. Trumped by 37 survival. Vengeance Face Flask, and a 4 times damage symmetrical lance that goes through the shields. Your princess is in the castle. Ugh. Wow. Wow. That is a full belly of Dead Cells wins. You never knew. You didn't think it was possible. No hit. A rare V.Me no hit moment. 5 things I wish I knew Dead Cells edition. V, how do you get a no hit on spoiler boss? Just do the Nuzlocke. That gets you the guaranteed no hit. Every bit, every possibility to get to the boss, cherry picked. That's how you make a good build. Did that lance do damage through shield? Yes, that is literally what it does. It does damage through shield. Wow. That's legit. You know what else is legit? We're gonna pull up marbles. What'd you all think about the build? Can I get a rating for the build? 0 to 10. 0 being V. I know you're locked in Nuzlocke mode, no pun intended. Mentally, I don't know if you really understood what you were doing there. I know you got about 2,000 hours in the game. I think you might need another 1,000 before we get back into the Nuzlocke content. Or a 10 out of 10 if it's like, V, honestly, you did better today in the Nuzlocke than you do in normal